Friends, this 3D model you see on screen started as a single image just a couple of minutes ago. No manual modeling, no complex setup, just one input and a few clicks inside the platform. And what makes this interesting is not just the result itself, but how quickly you can get there if the workflow actually holds up. I am Daniel, and in this video, I want to break down exactly how a result like this comes together from scratch. We are not just looking at the final output, but the full process behind it, step by step inside Hi3D. Version 2.1 just dropped, and I will show you what actually changed, what choices matter, where the system helps, and where your input still plays a big role. Guys, make sure you check out all the useful links in the description. After watching this video, there might be some nice discounts there. Let's jump into it. So mates, Hi3D is an AI-powered tool that focuses on converting images into usable 3D assets without requiring complex manual modeling. With version 2.1, the platform now generates at 1536 resolution consistently across the workflow. So the resolution itself is not the main reason to choose quality mode anymore. The real difference is refinement. Quality mode takes more time to produce cleaner geometry, better surface detail, and a more polished final asset. Instead of starting from scratch in traditional software, you provide a visual reference and let the system interpret it into a structured object. That alone can save a significant amount of time, especially in early stages like concept exploration or prototyping. Folks, another important aspect is that it tries to cover the full workflow in one place. You are not just generating a shape, but also preparing it for editing, refining, and exporting. At the same time, it is not positioned as a perfect solution that replaces everything else. The quality of the result still depends heavily on your input and the choices you make during setup. So the real value comes from understanding how to guide the system properly. Alright, my friends, here we are inside the creative space, where the whole process starts. The first step is uploading an image to serve as the base for the 3D object. Right away, the platform gives clear recommendations on what kind of input works best, and this matters more than it might seem at first. You want a single subject, fully visible, with a clean background and strong focus. Blurry images, multiple objects, or busy scenes usually lead to weaker results. For this test, I am using a robot dog image with a clear silhouette and readable details, which fit these requirements quite well. Once the image is selected, you can refine it using built-in tools before generating anything. Here, you get access to different image models like ChatGPT Image 2, Nano Banana, and Seedream, which allow more precise and controllable prompt-based editing before generation. There are several models available, along with quick actions like upscaling or cleaning up the image. In this case, I upscale the image to improve clarity, and the result appears almost instantly. Mates, the updated version looks sharper and easier to interpret, which should help during generation. You can also remove the background or enhance the image further if needed. These steps may seem optional, but cleaner input usually leads to more stable results. Another option here is multi-view generation, which creates several angles of the same object. This helps the system better understand the structure and reduces guesswork in hidden areas. Now we move into the settings section. First, I select the latest version, then choose between two approaches depending on speed or detail. For this first test, I go with the faster option to quickly evaluate the structure. Folks, next comes the generation type. You can build just the geometry or include textures as well. I start with geometry only, since it is faster and works well for checking the overall shape. I keep the license private and open the advanced settings for more control. Here, we define how the object is interpreted. One option aims to closely match the original image's angle, while the other focuses on a more balanced, stable structure. I choose the second approach, since it usually produces cleaner geometry, especially if you plan to edit or print later. Then we have the face count, which controls how detailed the mesh will be. Higher values preserve more detail, while lower ones keep things simpler. I keep it relatively high, enable automatic repair to fix common mesh issues, and turn on UV unwrap so textures can be applied correctly later. Guys, before we move on, I try to make my content fun instead of boring. And in return, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content I make. So with everything set, I start the generation. The result comes back in about 2 minutes, which is quite fast for this type of task. When we rotate the object, the structure looks solid and consistent, and most of the key elements from the original image are clearly preserved. If we zoom in, surface details are not perfect, but that is expected here. This approach is mainly about getting the geometry right, and in that sense, it does a solid job. It works well for prototyping, quick concepts, or early-stage ideas where speed matters more than polish. Friends, if something looks off, you get a few retries to regenerate the result. Below that, there are tools for segmentation and editing. You can switch to sculpting, painting, or other modes to refine the object further. For example, sculpting lets you adjust shapes with brush tools, which is useful for fixing proportions or improving specific areas. There are also smart tools for measuring, checking the structure, and identifying potential printing issues. So the output is not final, you still have control to refine it. Once you are satisfied, you can export it in different formats, send it to a printer, or simply download it for further use. Now mates, let's run the same process again, with a more detailed setup. I switch to the quality mode and enable texture generation. In advanced settings, we now get additional controls for how the surface is handled. You can adjust how colors are applied and fine-tune the interaction with lighting. There is also an option to simulate more realistic materials, which helps improve the final look. I enable these settings and start generation again. This time it takes longer since both structure and surface are being created. Folks, once it finishes, the difference is immediately noticeable. The object now has defined materials, and the surface looks more refined and complete. In this case, it resembles metal and feels closer to something ready for use rather than just a draft. At this stage, it fits better for rendering, game assets, or presentation work. You can still edit or regenerate it if needed, and once everything looks right, you can download it and use it in your workflow. One of the most practical new features in Hi3D is Split to Print, which prepares models for real 3D printing. Instead of exporting a model to another application and manually cutting it into pieces, you can split it directly inside Hi3D. The feature includes character mode for figures and collectibles, and general mode for objects such as vehicles, props, buildings, and mechanical models. For this test, I used the same mechanical dog and split it into printable parts using general mode. The system can automatically add connectors, making the pieces easier to assemble after printing. The result is a model that is not only generated and refined, but also ready for a practical print and assemble workflow. Okay guys, let's wrap it up. Hi3D handles the core task quite well, especially when your input image is clean and well prepared. The faster setup works best for quick iterations and testing ideas, while the more detailed approach gives you something closer to a finished asset. You are not locked into a single result. You can refine, edit, or regenerate as needed. At the same time, the platform clearly benefits from good input, so preparation is a big part of the process. The good news is that the built-in editor covers most of what you need before generation, so you're not jumping between tools just to get a usable reference. Friends, right now Hi3D is running its first anniversary campaign. You can get up to 80% off buy one get one free credit packs and limited early beta spots for new features and new templates. So it's worth checking out sooner rather than later. As usual, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time.